Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome back to the free-to-play review. So today's topic is the latest iteration of the summon pool, specifically the Infernal summon pool, aka the Demon Spawn summon pool, where of course the headline champion this go-round is the latest faction unity champion from the Demon Spawn, Volcanos Fumor, I believe that is his name. A pretty awesome HP burn, super tanky, and super powerful hard-hitting champion. But admittedly, he is not alone because Demon Spawn is one of the strongest factions in the game, so if you don't get him and you happen to hit a legendary with good luck, you can get Helikath, a Duchess, a Kaimar, Kandrifon, Sissia, Wither the Crowned, lots of really solid options in terms of Demon Spawn legendaries. So even if you happen to not get the headline champion, getting any one of the legendaries is probably going to be a boon for your account. And then of course the most likely outcome, as always, is getting epics, and that one is a lot more lackluster, I have to admit. But honorable mentions here, of course, Magnar, one of the hardest hitting, if not the hardest hitting HP based epic in the game. Umbral Enchantress, pretty nice for Hydra, but also for Arena, kind of like more the early mid-game style of Arena. Atchak the Wenderon's good for Spider, and Azana's decent in a stun set. Late game, Curse City. Allure, the queen of turn meter suppression on the A1. Endure the Hunger, a pretty good reviver for faction wars and stuff like that. So the epics are admittedly a lot less exciting compared to the legendaries, but nonetheless, you never know. It might be worth a shot. In terms of the rates, it's pretty much what you'd expect to see. 6% chance to get a legendary, so this is effectively a Sacred Shard, and it's going to cost 40 fragments to summon, which is the standard amount that we have seen for any summon pool featuring a faction unity champion. And in this case, we do have the chance to get 2 free summons, air quotes, from a couple of sources, both of which are tournaments. So one of them is the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament that started today. So if you go all the way out there to 6,300 over the course of the next 3 days, you can get yourself 1 free summon from there. And if you max out the champion training, it's been live for a day thus far, at least at the time of this recording, but overall it will have been 4 days in order to get 11,000 points, and you could get yourself another free summon. I think the main conundrum here is that if you're working on the fusion, you're probably going to be spending your energy on that. There's champion training to do, there's Fire Knight to do, there's the Dungeon Divers that you have to account for, and of course Sand Devil doesn't count or give you any credit towards Dungeon Divers, so there's things you're going to have to consider if you're going for the fusion, like myself. But if you're not going for the fusion, then maxing out the champion training would probably be a good bet if you just want to gamble on, try your luck to try and get one of the cool legendaries. And I would definitely encourage you to work on Sand Devil if you're not doing the fusion, because you have nothing better to do with your energy over the next 3 days. In my particular instance, since I am pursuing the fusion champion, I do think he's really solid, like an A+ in terms of how I would grade him. I'm more focused on the fusion events, so I will be maxing out the champion training tournament, but I will not be working on Sand Devil. I don't think I just have the spare energy to do all 3 at the same time within their time frames. And I would be remiss if I didn't also just kind of acknowledge the fact that they're doing like the best boosted rates for souls that we've ever actually seen in the entirety of the game, at least in the entirety of that system being in the game. So you can see here that we have a 2x on 5-star and 6-star perfect souls for both mortals and immortals. This is different than what they've been doing previously, where it's just been 6-star perfect souls for the immortals and they dropped out the 5-star, although they did do that once before. And then for the first time ever, they've actually done a 2x on 6-star perfect souls for eternal soul stones. So that is a massive thing to consider, that you have a 50% chance of whatever you get from an eternal being a 6-star perfect soul. Granted, there's still a decent chance that it's an epic compared to a legendary and or a mythical, but nonetheless, 50-50 shot for 6-star versus 5-star is very powerful if you happen to have some eternal soul stones. Originally, we had thought that there wasn't going to be an event accompanying this. There wasn't any teaser for like a soul chase tournament, but thankfully there is a soul stone rush, so you do get some credit in terms of rewards for summoning your soul stones if you happen to dive into that. So get some energy, some gems, Void Shard, Primal Shard, Ancient Shard, a couple legendary tomes, a barrel, and stuff like that. So decent stuff if you have enough of these soul stones to get out there. But the main caveat here is that it is a soul stone rush, meaning that you get a fixed amount of points for each of the types of soul stones. Eternals are 500, Immortals are 100, and Mortals are 10. So it's skewed more towards the high end, where you could easily clear this out if you have a handful of Eternal soul stones, which a lot of people probably don't have, myself included. And if you have a good amount of Immortals, you can get a decent amount of ways into it. So for example, if I was to burn all of my soul stones that I have right now, I would get somewhere around 3,100 points, meaning I could get myself everything up to both of the legendary tomes, which is tempting. Let me know in the comment section down below if that's what you guys would do if you're in my position. But I'm kind of more in the market for mythical tomes if I can help it, and I know sometimes that is more prevalent or more present in soulstone chase tournaments. But on the flip side, the boosted rates are pretty much the best they've ever been, and maybe this is just the time to go go for it just to get a decent amount of rewards. So again, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys would do. Still have a couple of days to figure out exactly what I plan to do. And just as a bonus, I wanted to share the update that I made to my spreadsheet for Soulstone Summoning, which will be linked in the description box down below. I decided to break out each of the boosted rates that we have seen thus far into individual toggle buttons. And so depending on how they mix and match them in the future, if you happen to be using the spreadsheet, it will be a lot easier to reflect the rates featured in the event. Now, relative to the output here of the calculator over here on the right, it doesn't really matter because this is not a Soulstone chase. So the odds of getting good or bad things won't really impact your ability to get the rewards. It is just the fixed amounts of which you can see down here. And these are just some of the rewards broken out into how many of each soulstone it would cost you. So if you wanted just one legendary tome and you had a bunch of eternal soulstones and or the essence or the coins to buy eternal soulstones with, you would need 6 eternals to get the first legendary tome, for example. You can kind of mix and match however you want to see it for the reward that you might want to go for. So there you have it. That's going to do it for the free-to-play review of the Infernal Summon Pool, plus the bonus chat about the Soulstone Rush with the super boosted rates. Once again, I do recommend that you at least try to get one or both of the free summons just to shoot your shot and see if you happen to get lucky. You never know. In worst case, you can just bank the soul or the prism fragments for the next one if you're hoping that the next one features someone else who you might want more. It is definitely unfortunate that this week does not feature the energy from the clan shop. That probably would have made it a lot easier for people to go in on the Sand Devil tournament as well as the other fusion tournaments. But again, I expect there to be a divide between those going for the fusion and those not going for the fusion, or the people who just have a massive stockpile of energy and or gems in order to do both. Let me know in the comment section down below what your plan is relative to the Infernal Summon Pool, and once again, let me know what you think I should do with my soulstones relative to the boosted rates and the Soulstone Rush. As always, if you did find this video helpful, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to also subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the content. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.